Hi, my name is Alma Martin. I'm a Director of Product Management at Logi Analytics. APIs also allow for software developers to iterate much faster. So once you know what to expect from an API conversation and there is a known contract on what type of information you're going to get back, you can iterate much faster and collaborate with other software developers along the way. So it creates a really nice mechanism to be more agile, to be more efficient, and not necessarily to have to wait for pieces of code to be ready for you to start. You can work in parallel because there is a known contract on what to expect from both parties. APIs are also huge time savers for developers. If you're familiar with any application where you see a button like login with Facebook and you click there, it's pretty likely that there was a developer behind the scenes that decided to leverage, in this case, a Facebook API to save some cycles and some lines of code on their own. So they didn't have to write necessarily an authentication mechanism into their application. So this saves time to the developer, but at the same time, if you think about the end user, it's really important for them too, because they don't have to necessarily spend time creating a new account to log into your application. They can leverage existing credentials, and it's also saving time from that perspective on the end user side. And if you think about it, at the end, that creates a much more friendlier experience for that end user, and customer satisfaction, of course, is probably going to go up. APIs are also really important for businesses for many reasons. First of all, they help them focus on their core value proposition. So if there is a solution out there that they can leverage, they don't necessarily have to invest cycles recreating it or putting people together to build it from scratch. They can just focus on what they want to deliver as value, and they can just leverage any existing capabilities in the market. APIs are also interesting because they spark innovation in organizations. There are companies that are completely founded on an API foundation. So, for example, Uber, which is the very popular ride-sharing application, the way they started was by leveraging existing APIs to build their workflow and their solution. If you think about it, that will be probably Google Maps APIs for all the mapping capabilities, and Twilio APIs for all the messaging capabilities in app. And if you think about it, they just took all these pieces, they put them together, and they brought something that bring value to the market. And now that they are off the ground and a mature company, they actually build their own APIs to expose them out there to other organizations so that they can integrate with their solution. So this cycle of innovation continues. Businesses can also use APIs to monetize on them. They can decide to build their own APIs privately so that they can use internally, or publicly so they can expose it to other organizations, as the Uber example that I mentioned. But at the same time, they can probably do like a partnership type of model where they can charge for access to their APIs, so they can monetize on them if they decide to do so. So the value that APIs bring to the table go from the developer coding solutions to the end user getting much more richer and better user experiences, and all the way to the organizations and how they see innovation going forward and how they monetize their solutions to the market.